What fragrances do you remember your mother wearing? What fragrances does she wear now? I'm about to share mine. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. The Santa Maria here, and first and foremost, happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers that are also elves, as well as you might be celebrating your own mother. It is Mother's Day here in the United States, so I just want to share that love to everyone that is a mom. I myself am not a mother, but hey, I'm shouting out my own mother, and in this case, I figured why not do a video that's a little bit different, but it's centered around my mom, of course. As always, lipstick of the day, we're gonna go in with MAC Kind of Sexy for this year look. It's a peachy nude kind of color. Mom loves all the nude lipsticks. It's always been her thing, so why not do a nude to honor her today? Next up, fragrance of the day, I went in with my YSL Libre Le Parfum. This is Orange Blossom and Honey Goodness. I do have a full dedicated review of this fragrance already up on the channel. Definitely check that out in your own leisure time. But alas, you all, we are talking about fragrances that remind me of my mother in honor of Mother's Day. These are all the fragrances that I recall my mother wearing growing up, as well as fragrances that she currently still wears. So it's a combination of the list. The overall point of this is that fragrances do create a scent memory. Fragrances can be very comforting. They can take you back to a time and place, and in this case, they remind you of a person. So let's get started. I remember growing up when I was real little, like very, very little. We talking elementary and younger, my mother would wear this certain fragrance, particularly when she went out, especially for like church or a special occasion event. This fragrance, when I smelled it recently, I immediately thought back to that time. I said, oh, this was my mama's scent. Absolutely, it's my mama's scent. And the fragrance I am referring to is Estee Lauder's Youth Dew. I will have pictures up of all of these fragrances. Everything will be in the description box as always. But yes, Youth Dew. And of course, now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like, oh, let me actually look up these fragrances and really get into the notes and understand, okay, what they were giving, what are they supposed to mean, but most importantly, hey, my mother wore them and they smelled great on her. So yes, Youth Dew, you all. This fragrance, when I looked it up, it's still available and it comes in many forms. This fragrance is an OG. It's been around over 50 years and it's still sold today at Estee Lauder counters and on the website. So this is supposed to be a sexy, exotic, opulent type of fragrance, and it's really meant to be an amber spicy, and I totally agree with it. I remember when I was spraying this, of course, as a child, you'd be like, ooh, that is a lot. This was one of those fragrances that overwhelmed a young child's nose, but on her, when she would go out, she would always get compliment on it. She would just move about very graciously, and this scent just worked for her. Of course, me being young, I was being a hater of it, but now I get it now that I'm more mature in my own fragrance journey. And when I saw that it has top notes of like rose, has some lavender in it, had some jasmine, has spices, vetiver, moss, patchouli. So this is a heavy hitter scent. Absolutely a heavy hitter. And one thing I will appreciate about Estee Lauder fragrances, do you know this fragrance is only $44, even in 2023? So this is extremely affordable when we talk about the grand scheme of a fragrance, and I'm impressed. So I get why this is a classic. I see why it's still available, because it's a bomb type of fragrance. Personally, I can see myself wearing it one day too. Maybe when I'm a little bit older, not quite yet, but I like this one. And most importantly, it reminds me of my mom, particularly when I was growing up in the 90s. So the next fragrance I remember my mother wearing, this was about going into the early 2000s when I was in my preteen, going into teenage years. This scent was my mother's like special occasion going out, because she's more of a going somewhere type of person that wears fragrance. She doesn't really wear it every day, at least at that point of her life. That has since changed. We'll talk about that. But when I think about the 2000s preteen, I remember my mama always kept a bottle of this fragrance, and the fragrance I'm referring to, this is from Jessica McClintock. And I remember Jessica McClintock having dresses and very nice elegant clothes. They used to have dress shops and things back in the day, but this fragrance, they had their own signature scent, and I remember she smelled this, y'all, got a hold of it, and the rest was history. So Jessica McClintock, this is their eau de parfum. Let me get into the notes for you all, because the notes took me aback. I said, ooh, So notes, we have top notes of bergamot, cassis, ylang ylang, and basil. Then we had middle notes of lily of the valley, rose, jasmine, and we have base notes of musk accord. When I tell you, after reading the notes of this, I'm like, I would wear this now, because I'm here for all of this. If it has lily of the valley in it, I'm here for it. Cassis, cassis berries, however you want to say that, it works. And I get why this is a very elegant scent. They literally have it written up as to be an elegant, timeless type of fragrance, and I totally agree with that, because the dry down in this scent on my mother, most importantly on her, this was exquisite. It's so exquisite. And in fact, I remember at one point we thought the fragrance had went away because like the stores and things of Jessica McClintock had went away. But we were able to find a fragrance. She was like, okay, great, because I still always want to keep a bottle of it. And to this day, she still has a bottle of Jessica McClintock on her counter. To this day, when I tell you this smells divine, honestly, I would even put this one up there as a potential bridal fragrance because we are heading into wedding season. It is May going into June, July, you know? Absolutely, this is elegant for sure. And y'all, it is so affordable. Like, when I was looking this up, do you know even on their official like site and whatnot, you can get a 50ml bottle of this fragrance for $28.90 because it's 15% off right now. But even without the discount, it's only $34. Like, what? And when I tell you, the notes smell like something that we would spend like 4 times as much for now. So that's why I'm like, okay, a good perfumery is just good perfumery, because I'm like, this is giving right now. And when she still wears it in 2023, I love it on my mother, most importantly. So I love this one. I'm glad she has kept it and has been rocking it. I'm glad it's still around, so I don't have to do another deep hunt for it and find her a bottle. Now we're gonna move into what I call her casual era. Most importantly, I was headed out the house. We're talking high school and I was headed into college and all that. And my mother was like, I am an empty nester. Me and your daddy, we empty nester. We out here living our best life. And the fragrance to me that reminds me of that era of her, and she still has a bottle of this to this day. This one is one that is still available. It kind of went away for a minute, but it's back. I don't know if y'all remember Jessica Simpson. She had like a whole run, reality TV, musical career, all that. The shoes, of course, you can still buy in department stores. But she also has fragrances, right? And she had a fragrance. It's still available. It's called Fancy Love. And when I tell you, I can smell this scent fresh out the bottle, and I absolutely hate it. I hate it, but on my mother, it is magical. It is her signature casual. We talking white t-shirt, jeans, or cute blouse, that type of thing. This is her casual scent, and it works. It's so interesting to me. I'm going to share the notes as well on Fancy Love. So Fancy Love is meant to be, it's supposed to be subtle, flirtatious type of a scent. It has peach blossom in it, lotus. It has blonde woods. So, which I know now she's told me she loves everything that's kind of woody with a little bit of a woody base, which makes sense because she rocks those type of fragrances now. But Fancy Love, I want to talk about, is her go-to. This is another one that if she gets low on it, she's like, I gotta get another bottle of it. Where can I find it? Which translates into me finding it. Because she knows I'm into fragrance, that type of thing. So we always have to, you know, find it for mommy. But this is another one, you all. You can get a 1-ounce bottle of this for, what's this, $45 at Macy's. So super affordable. It's still on counter if I'm not mistaken, or at least it's online. But absolutely affordable. This just takes me back to the era of the celebrity fragrance days. I think Britney Spears, I think Beyonce, I think Rihanna, Nicki. It was a time to be alive. But yeah, this is one that, hey, I told you, it's weird. I hate it on me, but I love it on her. And like I said, I just think about her living her best casual life, because that's mommy. And then when I think about a scent that just has transcended all eras for her, this last fragrance I'm going to talk about, she recently got it back in her collection, and I was like, yeah, this is the one. I remember just, I don't care if I was 5, I don't care if I was 20. This is the one she's always had, and that is Chanel No. 5. Chanel No. 5 at this point is just the iconic, it is the mother scent. It is what it is, particularly if your mother is of a certain age. Just saying. Chanel No. 5, either she has worn it at one point or another, or she's about to buy it, or she's asking you to get it for her. Chanel No. 5, like, it is just iconic. I know people tried to hate on it in recent times, whatnot, but let me tell you something. It smells good on a lady of a certain age, particularly when they got them a good dress on. They all snatch, because let me tell you, my mom and her age group and her friends, they still be giving life. I don't... let me tell you something, they give a young girl a go for their money how they be snatched. I'm just saying. But I love it when she wears this. She really be stepping out. And let me tell you, let's talk about Chanel No. 5. It has keynotes of aldehydes, jasmine, neroli, and sandalwood. Absolutely, this is an aldehyde scent. This is a scent, it's just, you just have to be ready for it. And I think most people hate on this one now is because they're just not ready for it. You gotta live a little bit to rock No. 5. And that's okay. And let me tell you, my mama, oh, she rocks this. Because I know when she smells it, it leaves a trail coming through. I'm like, yep. That's mama. And then there is her most recent baby. This is the one she has been loving like for the past 2-3 years. It is also from Chanel because of course it's not a mother without Chanel, just saying. And in her case, yes, she still has the number 5, which you know is iconic, we just talked about. But we gotta talk about her baby now, and this is one that I also have in my collection, and this is the Coco Noir fragrance. This is one, it's not talked about enough. I think this is fabulous. I'm a millennial, my mom was a baby boomer, but we both love this scent. So this is a fragrance, in my opinion, of Chanel that actually transcends generations. Let me get into some of the notes for you all. Key notes are jasmine absolute. We have bourbon vanilla and rose absolute. And it's the bourbon vanilla for me. I like it. Definitely still has that classic floral Chanel DNA, but it still has a modern twist on it. It's that bourbon vanilla in it. It's like, And there's also tonka bean in here too. I can't leave that out. There's a tonka bean in here that's just like, So when she wears this, in fact, I love it more on my mom than I love it on me. Because like when she wears it, it's definitely giving like, it's just after 5 sophistication, even though she'll rock it any time of day because she's like, I can wear what I want. I'm gonna do what I want. But on her, it lasts all day. On me, I have to reapply it, but on her skin, let me tell you, Noir, it's just, it eats. I mean, it's to the point that I was almost about to give her my bottle, and I said, you know, I'm just gonna give her her own bottle of it. But Noir on my mom, y'all, I'm serious. If your mom has been like wondering like, oh, I want another scent that's not necessarily number 5, but she still wants something in Chanel, y'all, Coco Noir is a wonderful recommendation. I mean, it's not just about Mother's Day, but just in general, mothers just want to smell good, just especially this time of year because there's so many events and things. Y'all, Noir though, it has a modern twist on it, and that is definitely my mother, because she's just living her entire best life. Let me tell y'all, she's totally leaning into Mother of the Bride right now. But most importantly, you all, I just wanted to share these fragrances that my mother wear, and most importantly, they give me scent memories of my mother from all throughout the years, throughout the decades. But most importantly, she's been an amazing mother. She's always just smelled great in the midst of the process. I just wanted to share some of the fragrances that she's worn over the years that have always struck a chord with me, and they've definitely left a scent memory in my life. So with that being said, elves, what fragrances have your mothers worn over the years, or what fragrances, when you smell them, make you think of your mother? Let me know in the comments below, because it's so amazing how it doesn't matter. I know we have all these wonderful, amazing collections, a lot of us do here in the fragrance community, but there's nothing like a fragrance that has a scent memory tied to a special loved one, and in this case, it's our mothers. So to wrap things up, happy Mother's Day, everyone, and yeah, just continue to love on them, man. Just continue to love on them. Until next time, elves, I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.